Welcome back, everybody. JumpX podcast, and now this is a very special episode. We have the one, the only, Mr. Russ. How you going, man?
Yes.
Thanks for having me on, boys. Glad to be here.
Wait, what is your full name?
Oh, my full name is Russ Angelo Sulitz.
Is Angelo a middle name or
Yeah,
okay?
middle name. Yeah.
Well, I thought your last name was Chad. No? Oh, okay. My mistake, bro.
Oh,
My
that's crazy.
mistake. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Like your background, age, all that.
Yeah. So right now I'm 22, almost turning 24 in like a week. 23, sorry, 23 in a week. Well, yeah, I mean, I grew up playing basketball, fell in love playing basketball. But I always try to imitate like Kobe. So I came into this as a basketball player. And ever since I left high school, like I've been just trying to find ways to elevate my game as well. It's been about like 5, 6 years. But even when I was in high school, I was also interested in jumping higher. Back then in high school, I had this one coach for like a local comp team, and he gave me this like insane Excel spreadsheet with like 30 exercises just listed back to back to back. And
Wait, this is one day's worth?
I don't know. It was a bit weird. It was because it was like pick the instructions for this was like pick like 8 exercises or something. And then he had like for each exercise, it had like I don't know, some sort of set and rep scheme. It was just like do this 3 days a week. Yeah, it was pretty weird. That was pretty much like my intro to anything jump training. Um, I think ever since then I've just been playing around, like even in the gym as a gym bro, I was just playing around with different boxes and different jump like combinations and I don't know, I'd just always come up with random shit. Like, oh, what if I do a box jump into a landing into a high box jump into like a bound into like a fucking broad jump, just like shit like that. I would just play around with. And that was like pretty much my intro to anything jump training related. I mean, at the same time as well, I had a few mates who are into powerlifting, so they were teaching me the basics of SBD,
Yeah.
basic patterns, all that stuff. So I've been going to the gym for yeah, ever since high school, probably like 6, 7 years now. So I have a pretty good understanding and decent technique when it comes to gym stuff. Recently also became a strength coach for Hoops Sports Performance, which is pretty crazy. Um, I felt like I just was so interested in sports science. I would just read textbooks. I like buy a few online. I'd watch all these Instagram coaches, or at least try to figure out the good ones from the bad ones. I'd like
Yeah.
again experiment with my own training. I had a few other coaches as well. Like my first ever like S&C coach, shout out to MF Performance Marvin. He was like a legit like strength and conditioning coach. He's an NBA one player now, which is pretty cool. But he introduced me to proper like strength and conditioning coaching. You know, he like would program on like team builder, like proper like workout days, like splits, and pretty much the same thing you guys do, just on more of like coming at it from more of a basketball focus, because that was kind of what my goal was a couple of years ago, just more so getting more athletic for basketball. But ever since I've tried playing more basketball, I ran into more injuries, which fucking pissed me off because I'd always like roll. Like there's a time where every year I was rolling my ankle like 5, 6 times a year. One time I got like a high ankle sprain that put me out for like 8 weeks, and that was just the worst.
Shit.
And I was just yeah, this is back in like 2021, so like ages ago, 2020, like COVID times. But yeah, that really pissed me off. And I think yeah, come 2022, that's when I got like my certification in ASCA level one. Just not because I wanted to be a coach, but just because I wanted to learn more about sports science and S&C. And yeah, ever since then, I did an internship under Who Sports Performance. I was an athlete with Who Sports Performance.
Mhm.
I've kind of gone through the ringer. I was an athlete, intern. Now I'm a coach for them. Um, yeah, now I've like over this whole year, over the last year, I opened up the Reedy Hill branch at Transform 180 Fitness Center, which is also a pretty cool gym. and yeah, I guess this whole year I've just been training a lot of kids, anywhere from 10 to 21 years old. A lot of them play reps. A lot of them have their sight sets on playing youth league professional as they get older. So it's a bit different in terms of what you guys do, but a lot of the general principles are still the same in terms of progressive overload and strength training and like different plyometric variations as well. It's a
Yeah.
little bit, I would argue that it's a little bit harder because there's more variables to consider when it comes to basketball rather than
Mm.
just trying to jump high. But yeah, that was a pretty long tangent, but that's pretty much what I do. So
Wait,
Yeah, it's
wait.
very
Austin, you go. You go.
yeah, I was gonna say it's very interesting training younger kids,
yeah,
and seeing what they do and how they develop and stuff. Because like a big thing I learned is uh like for them, like obviously I guess talking about our niche in terms of developing their vertical, because I'm training a 10-year-old at the moment, face to face, and like what I've learned is that the strength work at that age really doesn't matter. It's just about preparing them for when they're older to ensure their technique's good, ingraining good movement patterns. But that stuff doesn't matter as much. What matters for someone of that age more so is just primarily the jumping and making sure the base of their training is the jumping, is the plyometrics, is all the speed side of the spectrum of the force velocity curve, and making sure they have a foundation of all of that. Because if you look at the best jumpers like in the world, or the most athletic people in the world, that was their foundation, that was their base, and then the strength work came later, which further just exploded them, excelled them, right? I think where a lot of people go wrong, and like coaches and uh just everyone in general go wrong, is they try to build a base of strength first, which is just a huge mistake. Obviously that's important for injury prevention, but the most important thing is, from what I've seen, is just ensuring the main focus is the jumping, is the quote unquote athletic stuff, like the plyometrics, the hopping, the all that sort of stuff, the skill stuff. Like that's what they need to have a base of, you
Bro,
know?
I always think about it like if I had two twins, like identical
Yeah.
twins, obviously their genetics are the same. And from the ages of 10 to 18, one of them played basketball, did like jump training. Like when I say jump training, I mean just like jumped on low hoops and stuff and did max jumps. And then one of them did powerlifting. They both did that from 10 to 18. The one that did powerlifting from 18 onwards would have a lot of a harder time gaining vertical than the one who
Oh
was
yeah.
because like
Yeah.
you can always get stronger if you've got that backlog of jumps. But the guy would have to go and the guy that did the powerlifting would have to go and do all those jumps, and he'd be older at this point, so he wouldn't be able to get away with as many jumps. And it turned out to be just like managing injuries at that point, just trying to get him to do as many jumps as he can.
Yeah. No, exactly. So I just wanted to like touch on that as well.
yeah.
Oh, ollie lifting. That's what I was going to ask.
I
You didn't mention ollie lifting because I know
Oh
you
yeah,
love that.
yeah, yeah. That's I guess I did mention that, but uh, I guess my experience with Ollie thing hasn't been as long. I got interested in it, yeah, definitely around 2020, like around COVID. Um, again with my first ever S&C coach, Marv, he would program it in, and I would ask him to program it in because I wanted to learn it. I also coincidentally, my girlfriend's brother is a weightlifting coach. So yeah, he started out as a weightlifting coach in his garage, literally a garage gym. Like shout out to G Strength. It's the name of his brand. But he taught me how to do paracleans. And it took me so long to like master it. Like I've been doing it for like well, this is gonna be like the fourth year where I've basically been doing paracleans consistently. Um, and not just power cleans as well. Like he tried to, I was trying to learn how to do like power jerks, like push presses, and then eventually got to a point where like I got pretty good at power cleans, and the transfer over to like power snatch was quite easy because that like in terms of the timing, in terms of like how it feels to do a power snatch, it once you know how to do a power clean like properly, like power snatch would just come like that, like. But yeah, that's pretty much my experience with weightlifting. I haven't really been focused on it like too much. It's more of just been a tool. But going forward as a coach, I definitely want to do another like certification in it to actually learn how to teach it better. Because it's only now that it's getting to a point where some of my athletes are actually been training for quite a while. And when I say quite a while, I mean like a year, almost 2 years now, that I have to start implementing some sort of speed strength cycles in order to help them elevate because they already have an adequate enough base of strength. Um, I guess that's on me as a coach. I have to, yeah, I think the main thing is for me as a coach is, and as an athlete as well, like I always just want to learn. Like I mentioned before, I did the ASCA level 1, not to become a coach, but just because I was just interested in sports science and S&C. And like I'm definitely keen to doing more certifications as time goes on. It's just a matter of time and money. That's all it is.
Hmm. Real
Um,
quick, real quick. Where
yeah.
is your accent from? Because when you said power, it almost sounded Irish. Like,
I did it.
yeah, it kind of sounded like Terence Kennedy when he says power.
Yeah.
What's the accent?
I don't know. A lot of people say I have like I don't really have a Australian accent, but I mean I could turn it on. But I mean I don't know. It's weird because I'm Filipino, Filipino Australian. Like I basically grew up here. Like I was born in Philippines, but I was only there for like not even a year, like as a baby. So pretty much grown up here. I don't know. There's a lot of fellows around here, a lot of different Asian, like Australian accents as well. It's
Yeah,
a bit of a mix.
I wouldn't say you don't sound Australian. Like
you sound
I feel like
Australian.
you sound.
Few words,
Oh,
I'm like,
you know what? Because you're from Sydney, hey.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I feel like you sound like almost like a tiny bit like Wog, like like a tiny bit, like a tiny bit.
Damn,
No,
that kind of
because
hurts. All my Filipino brothers are gonna be like, damn.
no, because no, because I've heard because I've been to Sydney once for like a
Yeah,
weekend. In my former life when I was like a hardcore gamer, I went there for like a Halo LAN event. So, but I went there for a weekend. But what I've noticed from like listening to videos online and like hearing people speak, like you guys over in like the eastern states, you guys seem to have like a little bit stronger accent than us in like WA.
mm,
It seems like, you know.
yeah. I mean,
So
I grew up in I'm like based in Western Sydney, so it's very different out here compared to people in the East. I feel like the Western Sydney gets a lot of scrap because it's Western Sydney, like it's where Mount Druitt is. You probably heard of Mount Druitt. Like Mount Druitt's not that bad. It's just yeah, I don't know. It's a I feel like in Western suburbs as well, there's a lot of immigrants that grow up here and you kind of as a kid just assimilate into like Australian culture and grow up with other like in my high school, I had like so many different like ethnic groups, which is like
mm.
pretty cool. Like I myself like hung out with all the fellows, obviously. Then we had like the Lebanese boys, and we had like the FIFA slash like the guys really into football slash soccer. Um,
yeah,
and yeah, it's kind of just like a melting pot of culture, guys. Pretty
it's
cool.
like that here. It's like that here too, man. It's like the same in Perth. Like you have your suburb, you know, where it's like, you know, more Aussie people. Then you have your suburbs where it's more like Asian people. Then you have your suburbs where it's like more Wog people. It's like that's just how Australia is. So like I guess
Yeah,
like we're so multicultural,
yeah,
you know. like
cool.
like
Yeah,
bro, I used to play in a philo basketball league, man. Like they have like their own league here in Perth,
yeah. It's
you
great.
know? And like I was like considered an import, bro. And they were only allowed two imports in the team.
Yeah,
But I was literally like
Bro.
I was literally like a 7 footer for them, bro. I
yeah,
was just like that rebound like monster, bro. I was like that Rudy Gobert,
yeah.
you know? And
And
I couldn't dunk,
yeah,
eh?
yeah. You're only like
huh?
how tall are you again, Austin?
I'm 6'4".
Yeah, okay, damn. Yeah, you'd be a giant, bro. Compared to
Yeah, yeah,
Filipinos,
yeah.
of course. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
Filipino genes, unfortunately, were pretty short. So, like, just in general, if you're 6'4", yeah, like you said, you're just like a 7 footer for them. So,
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
how tall are you
I
again?
was yeah.
I'm basically 6 foot, 185 centimeters. Yeah.
Oh
Just
yeah,
on the
6 on the dot then, pretty much. That's with shoes or without shoes?
Oh, it's a good question. I think in shoes, maybe probably be like a bit over. I don't know. I haven't. I think it without shoes, yeah.
So okay, so in the dunking world, bro, you're
Mm,
5'11",
yeah,
but to the ladies, you're 6'1".
yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Pushing
Yeah.
6 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, pushing it.
Yeah. In the dating market, bro, you're 6'1".
That's crazy. Yeah.
Uh, so like for Tom, bro, like in the dunking world, Tom's 5'9", but to his girlfriend, to his girlfriend, bro, he's 6 foot. And
Six three. Yeah.
for me, for me, in the dunking world, I'm 6'2", and then to my girlfriend, I don't need to lie. So
So say 7 foot, man. They don't know a difference.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how it works, guys. If you didn't know, like, yeah. No, they actually inflate. Actually, on the height topic, they inflate their height in the NBA. Most
Oh,
guys
yeah,
inflate their height.
yeah. We'll round up all the time.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. Shoes.
Mm.
So I guess a good thing for us to talk about is like how did you find out about us, Russ, and like what's your journey been like? Because we spoke a little bit off the podcast about it, so I guess it'd be cool to hear about that. How you found out about us and like what your journey's been like training with us, and
Yeah.
I guess after that, leading into your goals for this year, I guess. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, just I feel like it's been a crazy ride. Like I again I told you guys I play basketball. I fell in love with basketball at a young age. Like I had dreams of playing professional, like overseas or whatever. But yeah, coming out of high school, ran into a lot of like ankle injuries. That pissed me off a lot. Because every time I would train consistently in the gym, every time I stepped foot onto court, I'd roll my ankle and all of a sudden I can't squat anymore. Like, and that I feel like that happened consistently for like almost 3 years straight, and it annoyed me to the point where I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to keep doing this, chasing like professional basketball, because or even just like youth league. Like I was like, there's a time where I tried out for youth league, which is basically like the reps here. I don't know what it's like for you guys, but it's basically like a pathway to MBO one. It's a way to get in the system, but yeah, unfortunately, I didn't make it. It's okay. It's all good. Because now I'm in the dunking world. But yeah, while I was playing basketball as well, I was also just interested in jumping higher. Um, okay, started out in high school, doing a bunch of different programs, listening to coaches that I thought were so knowledgeable. Um, had my first S&C coach, Marvin Fidel. He helped me out a ton in terms of properly programming for basketball and jumping higher. When I was with him as well, like I was also just naturally interested in sports science. I'd always be asking questions and even just trying to find different textbooks and other coaches to listen to. That's kind of when I ended up finding out about, Jordan Kilgannon and Zaire Rivera, like the GOATs. These guys are crazy. Like, and then
Oh, actually, before you go on, who do you think's better? Hot
it's like
topic.
asking, to be honest, I feel like it's like asking who's better, like Kobe or MJ, because I feel like
Bro, that's no way, bro. That's not the same question. Obviously, MJ's better.
oh yeah, he is, but
Uh,
it's like MJ paved the way. It's like Kilgannon paved the way for Zaire Rivera to like
yeah,
exist.
yeah. No,
That's
but bro, I feel like that's like a no-brainer question. MJ's of course better. Like, obviously,
oh
like
yeah, yeah,
we all love Kobe, bro. But
yeah.
like in terms of like play it, like some people might disagree. You might disagree, but I don't care. I think MJ's better. But
Oh yeah, no,
yeah,
he is. I mean, Kobe's just my goat. I don't think he's like
yeah,
the goat, but I
yeah.
would do that MJ. Yeah.
That's
Um,
fair, bro. Yeah.
but yeah, just yeah. The reason why I say Kobe as well is just because in terms of like a mentality standpoint, like when I was in high school, I was like super motivated to work out. Like I literally, like, we had a gym at the school. Like there'd be like a period of time where I was like waking up at like 5 o'clock at 5 a.m. like before school, like going to school like super early, getting a workout in, and then like I'd have to like trek it, like bring all my gear, like bring my shoes, bring my clothes, and then yeah, I'd be like, yeah, it was crazy. Like that was the time where I really thought, I was like super driven, and that's why I started listening to Kobe and his mama mentality. That's where I get a lot of my motivation from, just tapping into that inner mamba. Um, but yeah, in terms of I guess my dunk journey as well, like once I found out about like Isaiah Rivera, Jordan Kuganin, like I just was like learning more about the stories. Like I read that article ages ago where Jordan Kilgannon, I think you guys probably know, he had that article where he talked about he just jumped every day
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
gain. And then I read that article because Isaiah Rivera was talking about it. And then I found out about Isaiah Rivera, Jordan Kilgannon, and then I was watching all these different like dunk compilations of other dunkers like Jordan Sutherland, Jay Clark, Chris Staples. Um, Steve
What about,
Selly as well. I know you guys know Steve Selly. Hey,
of
he's
course.
yeah. But
That's Tom's inspo.
yeah, like yeah, from there, like around this time it would have been like like 2020. So obviously when lockdowns hit, I was fortunate enough to buy a hoop and put it in my front yard, an adjustable hoop as well, just before lockdown hit. And man, lockdown was crazy because obviously we have no gyms or anything. You can't go to a park. So all I did was just lower that hoop like 3, 4 months straight. I would just be dunking like multiple times a week, doing the craziest thing, like thinking of different combinations, like all on a like 8 foot as well, because that was like the lowest height I could do in my ring, 8 feet, 8 feet. Um, and I'd be wearing like all the craziest like outfits. Because sometimes it'd be winter, sometimes it'd be summer. Like I'd be dunking in like pants in like fucking like 15-degree weather. Um, uh, like sometimes even in the rain as well. Like because yeah, the whole time I think 2020 it both sucked for a lot of people, but I guess for me it was a kind of a blessing in disguise because that's really where I fell in love with dunking, and I was like, holy shit, like if I can't do professional basketball, maybe this thing could actually like work out. Maybe I could actually like do this like properly. And like this whole past year, like that's kind of been the first stepping stone into like what it could actually be. Like, I got my first dunk because of you guys, my first three dunks actually. And yeah, now for the at least until the end of January, I just want to let my body and my mind just relax. Because this whole year, the whole last year, I've just been going super hard. So I think my goals for this year, I definitely want to be able to be dunking off a self lob consistently. Like I just want to turn up by myself, get a dunk. I don't want to have to ask people to like throw me a lob or anything. Like I want to be dunking off dribble, like doing like basic dunks, like consistently on 911, 910, even 10 foot. Um, because yeah, it's like it's just been a crazy ride. Like I feel like I could really just go all in to just dunking. Like you guys probably know Korean dunkers as well. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. He actually trained at my gym for a bit before I went to Korea. He actually also interned under us as well, which is also crazy. Um,
Right. Oh,
he oh
Austin died, but yeah,
okay
continue.
okay yeah, Korean dunkers. He interned under Hoops Sports Performance, and now he's in Korea trying to start his own thing, which is like so cool to see. Like it's good for him, bro. Like, and I feel like even just like the brand, the Hoops Sports Performance brand, like we have so much potential to help out basketball players, but also like even just help start the dunking scene here in Sydney. Because in Australia in general, like dunking isn't as popular as it is in America. Like I only know like a handful of dunkers that come out of Australia. Um, like obviously you guys, there's maybe like a few guys, at least in my area, that are really into dunking properly. The only guy I know, you guys probably know him as well, Brendan Griffith. He's like really into dunking.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Uh,
He's back.
he's good.
Hello?
Yeah. Yo, go good.
He has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, sorry. My phone overheated.
Yeah, good.
It was sitting on the windscreen in the sun.
Yeah, so Brendan,
Yeah. Yeah, Brendan Griffith. He's another like dunker in like my area. Like I actually messaged him like a couple weeks ago saying, oh, if I train consistently, we should have a dunk collab like sometime in the year. Like that'd be crazy. And you guys know I had that session with Dylan. Like even though he's still paying for it,
Right,
like I
that's
feel
like
like
the infamous canon event for dunkers.
yeah, no, like just hanging out with another dunker is so cool because again, I feel like it's so easy for us to just just be stuck by ourselves behind the screen, just watching like highlights of another guy. But once you see it in person, it's just like that's when it becomes real. Like I would watch like Korean dunkers dunk and like, oh, this guy's fucking crazy, bro. How's he doing awful lob between the legs? How is he doing like a honey pot? He did that dunk. It's like an outdoor dunk where I think he did it over someone into like a honey dip, and then he had that like
Oh,
photo. Well, I think it was like a windmill into a honey dip or
Yeah,
something.
he likes to do windmill off the lob over a person.
Yeah,
It's like
like
he'd go to.
yeah, that's like for me right now at my level, that's just crazy to think about. But like,
You say that now, but like everyone who's done those stuff has been
yeah,
at your level, right? Like you don't just come out of the womb.
yeah,
Fucking
no, no, yeah. Like
yeah.
even doing it on 8 foot is just so satisfying, bro. Like I can do I just do the craziest shit whenever I put on 7.6 or 8 feet. Like I hit a under both on 7.6. I think it was seven. It was yeah. It was would have been 7.6. Like a while ago. I think the craziest dunk I've done on 8 feet is like a 180 between the legs. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I'm just trying to think how you would do it like with your plan, but
yeah,
you do it
like,
the same as me.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I feel like yeah, just dunking in general is it's very fresh. It's very new. There's a lot of basketball guys who can already dunk, but obviously they want to focus on basketball, which is fine. But focusing on just dunking in itself, like again, I feel like it has the potential to just blow up here in Australia. Um,
Well, I'd say going back to what you were saying before, like how Sydney you really had Korean dunkers, yourself, Brendan, I don't know,
there's
Dylan. I guess
probably
Dylan
other,
Tanner.
I mean, there's probably other guys. I just
Yeah, there's probably
not
like the main guys on Instagram would I'd say you guys, but then you look over in Melbourne, well
yeah,
they got
Melbourne. Oh,
MDS,
yeah,
right? They're blowing up, and then it's really like Melbourne, Perth.
yeah.
Now Sydney's like the next one coming up.
yeah,
I feel like Melbourne's the mecca for dunking in
yeah.
Australia right now. They have a
Not
dunk
just
competition every weekend, bro. I'm like, what?
not just dunking, but
Yes.
also just all things basketball. Like they have that summer jam comp. Like that in itself gets a lot of attraction from even guys here in Sydney. Like I know guys growing up I played with in Sydney going over there to Melbourne for that just for that event in itself.
Oh, you mean
And it's
Summer
just
Jam?
yeah, the summer jam, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we have that now, but I think it's been going to Melbourne longer. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Like Melbourne's growing up. But yeah, I actually met some of the Melbourne guys because they're over here for a dunk. What's his thing? What's his
There
name?
was a dunk comp, right?
Yeah, there's a dunk comp, but it got ended because it started pissing down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, I have a question. Did you
yeah.
meet Eddie?
Eddie.
Eddie.
Which one's Eddie? Bro, I met so many people that day. I can't. I
Okay,
think I remember
because
Dan. I remember Liam with the blue beanie.
yeah,
Uh, was there another guy? I can't remember the names, bro.
Eddie's a guy from Perth, like a JumpX athlete from Perth, but he was at that same competition that day because he was like there for a holiday. But I don't know if he like came up to you guys and introduced
Yeah.
himself.
No,
Probably
because
not.
we were actually given the Melbourne squad Vertec tests.
Oh wow,
Yeah, but it already started raining, so they couldn't do a full approach. Is it?
that's
Yeah,
annoying.
yeah, no. Like they just did standing and like one step. Yeah, it was crazy to meet them again. Like going like in terms of like the inspiration sort of thing and seeing it actually happen. Like those guys were crazy.
Yeah. Who tested the
Yeah,
Sorry,
Who tested the highest?
I don't remember. It was so long ago.
I should.
We sent them the thing. We took a photo of it. If you ask them, we'll probably find it somewhere. But I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool, man. So in terms of your goals, you kind of discussed it a bit just a second ago. You
Yeah.
said you start dunking consistently, but
Yeah.
more, I guess, like outrageous goals that you want to hit this year.
Yeah. I mean, that's just my dunking goals. This year in itself, I think I definitely want to be squatting like way heavier. Like one of my goals, like over the past few years, was to be hitting like 140 squat like consistently. And every time I started to build it up, that's when I had those ankle injuries and I couldn't squat, which
Mm.
really pissed me off because I really wanted to get strong in the squat. And it's only now that I'm like really doing it like really good. Like I had that PR of like 170, which is fucking insane. Like I never thought in my life I could squat 170. Like any, but it's just yeah, it just goes to show like proper like programming, just having a group of guys like keeping you accountable, like you guys, and like having that community as well. Like it's crazy because I know so many, not so many, but I know a few other like JumpX guys. Like I'm always messaging like Joe, bro, every day. That kid's cracked. You need to fix him, man. His sleeping pattern
Yes,
is outrageous.
please.
Oh my God, dude, don't get us started about that guy, bro.
We love you, but please, please.
Yeah,
But
yeah, bro. Oh, dude. They're actually both coming to Perth. Him and Stanley. You know Stanley?
yes, I've seen him a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, they're both coming to Perth. Is it in a couple months, Tom?
Joe, I don't know when Joe's coming, but Stanley's coming in March.
That's crazy.
Stanley's coming in March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I can make it. That'd be crazy if I could.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to save up a little bit. It's a
yeah,
bit bonus. Yeah.
yeah,
I'd
because we
probably,
we've had like we had Korean dunkers come over for a dunk session.
yeah.
Um, we've had Nathan George. You know Nathan George, the UK dunker.
Okay. Oh yeah, bro, that guy's crazy. His progress has been crazy.
Mm. And then
Yeah.
we had Cammy over recently, which
Yeah,
was
Cammy, yeah. Yeah. That's
gonna
okay.
be the next edition.
I don't know. I gotta jump higher first, man. Before I come see you guys, bro.
I mean, we dunk a 9.8, so it should be pretty easy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, just to clarify, that's a joke, guys.
Yeah,
If
no, no.
anyone listening,
Yeah.
if you can't tell, that's a full joke.
I thought you guys lowered it down to 9 foot, bro. That's why you guys look
Oh
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
yeah.
9.8's like a high day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 9 foot's a high day. Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. I'd have to jump like 5 inches to dunk on 9 foot. It's stupid.
What's your reach?
Like eight, my reach is like 8'5". So I didn't have to dunk on 8 foot. I don't have to jump.
Oh, that's insane. What the hell?
Yeah,
What's your
yeah. So that's pretty funny.
Russ? What's your reach?
To be honest, every time I measure it, I've got it in different things. Depends what shoes I'm wearing. So right now, my go-to shoe for has been free threes, like the
Hmm.
Yana shoes. When I wear those, it's usually about 93.5. I've gotten also 93 and 92 and a half. It's fucking, I feel like every time I measure, it's always like slightly off. But
93
yeah,
is 7.9, isn't it? Hold on.
I just go by inches, bro.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, but it's
Yes,
weird because yeah, we use inches even though we're in Australia.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Like everyone in basketball world, like it's just inches,
yeah,
unless
Well,
you're Europe,
like
centimeters.
no one goes, oh yeah, I got 100 centimeter vertical. Like, no
yeah,
one knows what the fuck that means,
yeah, yeah, no,
you know. But if you're like, oh, I got a 40 inch, yeah, everyone knows what that means, you know.
yeah,
You say
So
that
it's
though,
like,
but, like
yeah,
if you go to like Eastern Europe, and you talk to like a lot of the Eastern European dunkers, they talk all in centimeters, like rim
yeah,
heights, verticals, like actual like height, like
oh
your tallness. I don't know, but your height. Yeah, they say also
yeah,
weird as fuck.
yeah.
no, fair enough.
I mean, we should do it that way, but we don't.
It's too late,
Yeah,
too far down the rabbit hole.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're talking freedom units.
yeah. Um, I guess another goal of mine is yeah, just get insanely strong. Like I want to be hitting like yeah, 140 like regularly, like on a squat. Power clean, 120 for sure. 120 power clean. Um, deadlift 200 would be nice. Like 200, like full lockout. Because I know I did 190, but I didn't. I had soft knees, so um. Also, like overhead press. I really like overhead press for some reason. Like when it like probably my favorite upper body exercise is overhead press. Um, I maxed out with the weightlifting guys last week, or just on strict press. I managed to pull 60 out my ass, so that was nice.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that's yeah, in terms of numbers, that's pretty much it. I think in terms of vertical as well, like definitely want to be hitting like right now I'm around like 32, 33 on a good day. Definitely want to be hitting like at least 34, 35 consistently. Um, like I want to be getting like my whole wrist, like almost like my forearm, like up to the ring, well above the ring. That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, you and I were talking about this yesterday or maybe the day before, but like you have a lot of potential just to gain vert very quickly, just
yeah,
by getting lighter and leaner, right?
yeah, no, that's yeah, that's been a low hanging fruit of mine. I feel like is my diet, nutrition. Like I obviously know like I need to eat way more protein. I need to be cutting out the fat. Need to be, yeah, just those two things in itself. I just need to be doing those. And I feel like I'm very prone to snacking as well. I love food. Food's just good. Um, yeah, I think body comp as well. Like if you want to put a more specific term like body comp and actually like seeing like more lean muscle. So I feel like even though I've been jumping like quite high, I still feel like I still have a lot of body fat or more body fat than I should have. And I feel like that's probably like one thing I need to hone in more on this year. Just keep my body fat low.
It's easy
Um,
gains, bro. You don't even have to do anything really. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
it's just exciting to me. Like, just
yeah,
how quickly you could actually like shoot up and
yeah,
start progressing like even faster.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Just give me 1 second. My cat's trying to get outside.
Oh, good, oh, good.
Yeah, it's actually a huge thing, right? Part of my post today was about that in terms of gaining strength and being relatively strong,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
like so it's a obviously it's a thing people talk about, but it's I feel like it's just like not talked about enough and not
No,
well enough known in like the I guess dunking community, how important it is to be lean and just holding excess body fat. Like it's just weighing you down and it's just like wasted potential if you have excess body fat. And when I say excess body fat, like everyone's going to be different in terms of how much body fat they can hold in terms of like keeping your hormone levels and everything stable and healthy and all that. Like for you, Tom, you might better hold like 8% body fat to be healthy, whereas for me, like maybe 9, 10% is like that's my limit.
this is the thing, bro.
Everyone's going
Like,
to be different.
I reckon I could like actually go lower and I'd be fine. But like,
Mm,
I'd feel, I don't know, depleted. Like, I like being a little bit heavier as well
yeah.
in terms of gym numbers.
yeah,
Like for me, like right now, I don't feel like I'm at like an optimal level. So that's where I'm like cutting right now. I'm trying to cut a few kilos. Um, because I
Interesting.
can be leaner right now and like still stay healthy and it be sustainable, and I'd overall feel better as well because it's just less weight to carry around. Like even if it's just like a few kilos, it makes a difference, you know?
yeah,
Like yeah. Like when I was jumping my highest, I was like 89, 88, 89 kilos, and right now I'm like 92.
mm,
So like, even at like those few kilos, it makes a difference.
yeah. Like I think at my best, I was probably about like yeah, 93, 94. But now because I'm on holiday, I'm kind of just chilling. So I think I'm up. I'm probably like 97, 98 right now. Just fine. Like again, I'm on holiday, trying to let my body relax. Um, yeah, like just in general, like fat doesn't fly. Like PJF has that thing. Fat
Yeah.
don't. That's it.
Yeah, it's math at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So you think
Yeah.
when you decide to start training hard again for vertical jump, that's going to be one of your main goals, main priorities, alongside with obviously trying to increase your relative strength.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think comes down to just also just how I schedule things and just like my lifestyle as well, because I feel like I'm doing a lot. Um, like I didn't mention this, I haven't mentioned this yet. I'm also still at uni, which is pretty tough. Like I'm trying to finish this year, hopefully. I think my big three goals this year are definitely like work on like coaching. So because there's a whole lot of back end stuff I still do, so that's something in itself, coaching, uni, and then training. Like those are like my big three for this year.
Wait, what are you studying at uni?
So I study a double bachelor's in science and arts, and I major in physics and philosophy. Pretty crazy. Yeah. So
Yeah, right.
yeah.
But you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's been a grind like these past few years because I failed a few units, but it's only because I've just been messing around in terms of uni. Like I haven't been trying as hard as I should, and I know that now. Especially because I've been putting more energy into training and coaching. But like this whole like the whole last year's taught me, how I sh need to be in terms of not just training, but integrating like everything into my lifestyle. Like I need to schedule like regular trainings. I need to be properly eating, like having breakfast, like first of all. Um, yeah, getting enough protein like with my meals, not just eating junk, not like buying food all the time. I think for me, it's just yeah, all about the integration of training within my lifestyle, making sure that it fits like what I want to do because I feel like I have so much like I want to do this year, like so many others like side projects as well, like still up in the air. Um, and yeah, like I want to be able to like give 100% to everything as well. I want to just like put all my energy into uni and then have like coaching struggle and then training like for the shit. Like I need to spread it like evenly, which is for me as a person as well, it's just been tough to figure out. But I think this year, uh, I'm really gonna, yeah, I just gotta work harder. I gotta work smarter. Um,
Mentality, bro.
yeah, that's all it is.
Well,
That's an interesting thing. Like you brought up, like wanting to put 100% in everything, because it's very hard to do that because when you're like trying to do like three, four things at once, it's very hard to put 100% in everything. And I wouldn't even say it's like, from my experience, realistic. Like, um, like a big thing I've learned, because I always want to do everything to the best of my ability and the best I can, and do everything, like 10 out of 10 perfect. But thing I've had to, I think, come to accept sometimes is like, especially with like, JumpX and running a business and all that sort of stuff, like having to do multiple things at once, like post content, like train athletes, all that sort of stuff. It's hard to do like everything 100% all at the same time. It's like you might have to accept that, you know, if you're trying to do like multiple things like that at once, you might only be able to do everything at like 80% or 85% or 90%, and you might just have to accept that and be comfortable with that being the reality, because like I I was watching a video about Chris Bumstead. Like I'm sure you both guys know Chris Bumstead, right?
What
Like
do you?
yeah, or the top uh well, Mr. Olympia, right? In terms of classic physique.
Yeah,
Like he was like 8 weeks leading up to the Olympia, he was like trying to run his businesses and do that while prepping for the Olympia, and then he just came to the conclusion eventually that, like, look, if he wants to win the Olympia and do well, he has to go all in on that for the next at least 8 weeks or so, give up essentially working on all his businesses and stuff so they can just focus and dial in and go 100% on that one thing. So he had to be comfortable with the fact that he needed to let all his staff members and everything else take control of the businesses and let them handle that, and then tell them that he's not going to be available at all for the next 8 weeks or so. So then he can just focus on the Olympia, even his relationship as well. with Courtney, it was the same thing. Like she needed to accept, and then that's not going to be where it needs to be or 100%. So then he could just focus and go all in on that one thing. But I guess he was trying to be the best in the world, and something, to be the best in the world is something you have to go all in and 100% focused on that. So he had to forgo his relationships, he had to forgo his businesses in order to do that. And I just thought that was a very interesting thing. And it's like, I guess I wanted to bring that up as well. It's like, it's just definitely something to think about as well,
At the same time,
you know?
though, I think his business actually would have done better the way he did it, because if he had like gone 70-80% in his prep and then lost, his business would have done worse.
Yeah,
So like long term, I think him doing that, it probably paid off, because now he's
yeah,
4 or 5 time. What is it?
yeah.
4 time Mr. Olympia?
So that's where like, yeah, I think he's five. Yeah, he's 5 time.
Or
But that's where
five.
like, I I guess that's where it's good to go through like seasons of life. You might go through like a season of just like, like studying super hard. Then you might go through a season of like training super hard. Then you might go through a season of like grinding business super hard. You know what I mean? And then the other stuff kind of get maybe not fully neglected, but just accepting they're not going to be like top notch. You know? Because like at the end of the day, like what I've come to realize as a person is I'm not a fucking Terminator. I'm a human being. I can't just be robotic and do everything perfect every day, you know? So,
But Austin, remember
yeah.
like when we talked about it once, it was like stressing you out that you couldn't do everything 100%. And then my dad was kind of like, well, let's just say you were doing everything at 80%. Is that like the worst thing in the world? Because you're still going to be progressing.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
definitely true. I mean, yeah, for me,
yeah.
one of the, I mean, I have failed a few units, so I feel like I've been going that negative percent. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. It's it's tough. I feel like it's always going to be like a constant learning process. Um, yeah. I mean, obviously I don't have all the answers. I just gotta figure things out one at a time. But I think at least for me, I feel like over the last year I've learned a lot of lessons, and I feel like I still wasn't putting 100% into everything. Like there's still so many times where I could have, like just stop scrolling. I feel like I scrolling like the death scroll, doom scroll on Instagram, TikTok. Like that's probably a big thing for a lot of people these days. That cuts out like, a significant portion of your day. Um, just watching Netflix, movies, whatever. I mean, not that watching movies is a bad thing, but just keeping everything in balance is probably a better way to approach it. Maybe instead of like 100% everything, you allocate 33% to three things, something like that. Um, yeah, I think for me, just trying to find a balance between everything is probably the main thing I want to be focusing on this year as well. Making sure that the things that I actually genuinely care about, that I'm actually putting effort into, and not just telling myself that I am and actually not. I feel like that's what I did with uni a lot this year, a lot this past year.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't know.
But it's good that you can like take account for your actions.
Yeah,
I
so
respect. I
yeah,
respect.
yeah,
And get that shit done. So next year
exactly,
you can just train and work.
definitely 100%.
Yeah. One thing, because one thing I've found that helps with like the whole phone situation is it's like the only way like I found for myself to like stop it is like if I need to like focus and like do some work, I've like that doesn't involve my phone, like I have to get the phone completely out of the fucking room. Otherwise, you're just always gonna touch it.
Yeah, bro,
It's
throw
like
it
it's
away.
impossible. It's impossible, huh?
Just throw that shit out the room. Like Austin
Yeah,
for 10 programs to write, you won't be hearing back from him for like 2 hours. That shit's gone. He will not be checking.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just so hard to focus with it around, and it's just like you can be as disciplined as you want. You're never gonna be able to compete with it. The only way you're gonna stop that is just by getting rid of the phone completely. Like for myself, like when I go to bed, I don't have my phone in my room like anymore at all. So like I'll go to bed at like 9 and then might not go to sleep until like 11:30, but or 10:30, sorry. But I wouldn't even have my phone in my room. Like I would just put my phone in a complete other room, put it on charge, and then it's not there, and then I don't touch it. That's the
Yeah.
only way I'm not gonna like touch it because it's just so hard, man. Like even like if I have to do work on the phone, I'll put on like do not disturb phone so that I'm not getting any notifications or anything like that. Like I don't even have Instagram notifications on or anything like that, just to reduce the chances of like that unnecessariness in terms of using the phone, you know? Because yeah, it's so hard to stay disciplined. It's like, man, it's like when you're trying to lose weight and then you got all these snacks in the house, like all these chocolates, all this cool drink, chips, all that. It's like you can be as disciplined as you want and tell yourself, "No, I'm gonna cut it out and not eat it." But if it's there, it's like it's gonna happen. You're gonna break at some point.
Yeah.
You know, it's just human nature. Like the only way you're gonna stop it is just by not having it there at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just what I've found that's helped in my experience in terms of that and just yeah, building good habits. But a really good book, just because I'm going on a fucking tangent. I found is like Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
That's like such. I don't know if you read that, but that's like such a good book, man. You know, it has such good like practical advice in there as well. Um, yeah, because I read that book and it was like, yeah, it was very insightful. It's all based on science as well. It's like legit
Yeah.
too. So yeah,
That's cool. Yeah. I think for me, because I'm like a philosophy major, we pretty much talk about like these when it comes to like the deeper topics of like religion and existence and life, we do a lot of that, tutorials and stuff like that. So I think for me, one of the biggest like motivating factors for me, I always think about is probably just like the Stoic idea of just mortality. They these are like these ancient Greeks, like the Stoicism ideas were made by these ancient Greeks a long time ago. They're still relevant today, and they thought deeply about like human nature and existence and about like the best ways to live. And they came up with all these different ideas that are still like relevant today. And I feel like big thing for me in terms of motivation and trying to put my phone down is to just meditate on those ideas. And like sometimes I'll just be on my phone and it'll be like, oh yeah, you're gonna die one day. You're gonna get off the phone, like do something about it. Like, whether it's like do some studying, you gotta go do training, you gotta do something productive. I think is something for me that has worked sometimes, but I think in terms of trying to put out content and trying to create a brand is going to be a little bit harder because that's kind of part of the job to, be on your phone and actually figure out how to make content. Um, and I guess for me, like I've kind of been caught in that trap where, I have the excuse of trying to figure out how to make content, trying to figure out like what to post, what people like, but then it's like is it really necessary? Um, because I feel like with me, like I'm still very much in the early stages and trying to figure things out of what I really want to do, like whether I want to pursue like uni like properly or if I want to pursue dunking properly or like, become a coach. And I feel like all these things are kind of just they're starting to mesh together. Um, like the jigsaws are like starting to fall into place. The Radiohead song, like I always think about that song. Great song. But yeah, I feel like yeah, things are very much starting to fall into place, and I'm starting to connect the dots a little bit more in terms of how to like mesh the different aspects of like my life and like the things that I do. It's been pretty crazy. I feel like it's only been like the beginning. So like the sky's the limit. There's only one way up from here. So yeah,
Love that. Yeah, man. Also, I don't know the song, but
yeah. No, it's a great song. Radiohead.
oh, so I thought it was like a nursery rhyme or something.
No, no, no. It's yeah, Radiohead is yeah, one of the bands on my rotation. So
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Tom, no, Tom's really wondering, is there a hardstyle remix?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it probably is.
Like I've actually been listening to more like metal
Yeah, I
like especially for squats, like metal
yeah.
suits what's the best.
I think for me, I'm a bit more of I don't know if I would even call like the music I listen to heavy metal because I feel like some of it has aspects of metal. I do listen to some like hard metal rock bands, but I also listen to like a lot of more like shoegazy metal bands. Like one of the big ones that I've discovered this year is Loathe, like Loathe. Like their
Mm.
music has just been amazing. Like in terms of like if I want to push for PR, like I'm pumping that song in my head. Like I feel like music as well is just a whole nother thing I'm like really interested in and like I feel like everybody should listen to music if you don't already. Like and like not saying like any music is like better than the other. Like everyone's got their own like flavor. It's just, like whatever you're into. But yeah, I mean I've listened to a few hardstyle like rock remixes, pretty interesting. Which is pretty
Yeah, a
cool.
lot of the time those like remixes are pretty like poorly made. It's just like the
Yeah.
most simple kick behind it, and it's like
It's just like you might as well listen to the actual song at that point. Like
yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. But like actual like good hardstyle remixes are the ones, where you just want to fucking turn into a lad and you start like doing start doing gathers out of nowhere. I don't know, like muzzing.
You know, you
Yeah,
know it's a good hard style. You know it's a good hard style song if you just start doing like a Ziz pose just out of nowhere.
Yeah, true. That's it. That's it. Like as somebody coming from metal, like I respect it 100%.
yeah,
Like if the song just wants you to make, if the song just makes you want to pose like Ziz, then yeah, it's good. It's a good song.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
movie soundtracks as well can be pretty fun to listen to as well. Like I know
Oh yeah, bro.
That's just
I
crazy.
like I like I like movie soundtracks, bro.
Yeah.
Oh shit, bro. Do you know what my Deadlift Max song used to be back in the day?
I know what
It
it is, but
used to be the It used to be like a remix of like an old Batman
yeah.
theme, and then the new Batman theme, and then it just like drops like super hard, and then it like I don't know, something about it just triggers adrenaline for me.
Wait, is it Samuel Kim?
So I think so, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Samuel.
Yeah, yeah. But for me, like, there's an interesting thing, right? It's so interesting because for some people, like for Russ and like Tom, like well, for you guys, right? You guys like the heavy hitting stuff. It's like the heavy metal, and then like the super crazy like hard style. Like I don't know, I don't even know what you'd call your music, Tom. To be honest, but some of your music,
My
but
PR songs?
um, huh?
In like my PR songs.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's just sound at that point. Like I don't know, for me personally, it doesn't really like work for me. Like I need something that like triggers some sort of like emotion, you know, that it like so sometimes that can be like the like a weird song, like a Batman theme that kind of hits sort of hard, you know, that sort of triggers that sort of emotional sort of energy, you know, I guess for lack of a better term, that brings out the demons to an extent, you know.
I
So
think
I don't know. That's
man,
that's what
no, keep going, keep
I
going. No, just keep going, keep
I
going.
was just gonna I was just gonna say that's what I feel like that's what gets me going. Not so much the like super hard like heavy hitting stuff. Like actually, do you know what I really like? I like Bring Me the Horizon. Like I like that. I think it's a new song. Like I like Dark Side, and I like there's another one I can't remember what it's called. But yeah.
think yeah, I was just gonna say like on the note of Batman, bro. Like, you guys probably don't know, I'm a pretty big Batman fan. If you ask me, like, it's a bit controversial. I don't know, Tom, if you have any say, but I prefer DC over MC over Marvel. Like anything DC, I prefer over Marvel. But I think just in general, looking at these like characters, like comic book characters, as a source of inspiration. Like Tom, sorry, just Tom Austin when he mentioned Batman, I was just like, yeah, Batman's fucking cool. Like he's all about like that raw emotion, and it's funny because the new Batman film by Matt Reeves, he like the soundtrack of the trailer was Nirvana's song, like Something in the Way, and that's the
Yeah.
like, Nirvana has been like my number one for so fucking long. Like they're like my top band, and when he used that song in a Batman like movie and trailer, I was like, holy fuck! Like he's like 100% like captured who like Batman is, like his raw emotion, his darkness, his just that temper is just amazing. And I feel like looking at characters as a source of inspiration to inform your own training is pretty powerful as well. Like I look at Batman and then I also like even just Superman as well, like the Man of Steel like anthem. Like I listen to that when I just
Oh yeah,
fucking like inspired.
bro. Oh,
Like
yeah, I rate that. That's so good.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's that's
I
amazing.
rate that.
And then
I rate that heavily.
And then when I'm in the mood to like really just fight for fucking PR, I just put on like some Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, like that shit. Like I feel like music in general just has so much like power to just yeah, just inform your own training and just it
Wait,
takes the
which part of
inspiration.
Revenge of the Sith?
The fight
Oh,
scene at the
Which?
end with the lava.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that
Battle of the
one.
Heroes. Yeah.
That shit goes off, man. It's just
Yeah.
yeah, like there's like music comes in so many different forms. It's crazy like how much the potential it has to just help you in your day to day. Like sometimes I put on like yeah, like movie soundtracks as well, like while I'm studying, like Hans Zimmer. Fucking
Oh
Hans
yeah.
Zimmer's big.
Yes, sir.
He's goated, bro. Hans Zimmer. Like even like the Halo theme song, Barley.
Austin's like horny for that, eh?
I know that shit's crazy. Um, yeah, like it's yeah, crazy, man. Yeah, I could talk about music all day.
You ever gone into like Interstellar?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, 100%, 100% Interstellar. Yeah, yeah, that's been a number. Yeah, like even when I was in high school as well, that was a big one. Interstellar.
Yeah. Yeah.
even some of the Lord of the Rings songs.
Yeah, just crazy.
Yeah,
Anything John
they're
Williams.
pretty decent.
Like you really just
Yeah,
feel like you're immersed into the atmosphere or the world that they're creating. Whether it's Lord of the Rings, whether it's like Interstellar, I feel like you're in space. If you're in Star Wars, you're actually in a sci-fi like in world. It's yeah, shit's crazy.
bro. The Halo 2 theme. That's a pretty hype
The,
song.
the
The
electric
original one.
the electric guitars.
Yeah, bro.
That's like the
Like
one that everyone.
Yeah.
sorry?
Hey.
It's like the most common one that everyone knows. Like when it starts out normal instrumental, but then it goes into like the electric guitars, it's like more towards the middle end. Is it that one?
It's such a cool spin. Yeah, it's such a cool spin.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it.
But
Yeah,
oh,
even like the some.
I was gonna ask if you from the Halo, I think it's Halo ODST. I think it's
Oh
called
yeah,
uh Never Forget. Oh, I think that's Halo 3. I'm thinking of another one. But yeah, the ODST, the Halo 3 ones as well. Some of those ones are bangers. I just wanna cry. That's how it makes me feel.
oh fuck. Yeah, no, I know what you mean, bro. Like they're good. They're good. They're very. I played Halo 3 ODST. They're very atmospheric.
Yeah.
Um, I was gonna say, and what's the song? I think the song's called Anakin's Betrayal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, bro, that makes me want to cry.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty sad song.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but yeah, there's so much depth to music, and there's so much out there, and And it's so powerful in terms of improving your training sessions and your performance, you know.
Yeah.
But I've have you guys read Relentless by Tim Grover, or like seen a lot of Tim Grover stuff? Like
I have,
you know what I'm
I
talking
have his,
about?
I have his Jump Attack book.
Oh yeah.
I got given the
Um
given the jump attack.
Literally right in front of me, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. But one thing he touches on about in terms of performance and focus and performing at your best, right? You don't want to like get hyped up from what he says. You know, you kind of want to be like calm and focused before like you go into like a big game or, you know, something that's like big. You know what I mean? Because hype is inconsistent. It dies down. You know what I mean? It's unreliable, you
Yeah.
know? But if you can be calm and focused, it's way more reliable and consistent, like cool, calm, focused, confident. You know, I was like, yeah, holy shit, that's big. That's a
I
big point because a lot of players are trying to get hyped before big games because it's like before a big game, you get all hyped and stuff, but as soon as the game starts, you don't have that. You don't have that there, you know? So
I actually do want to touch
I
on
just
time.
thought that was, yeah,
Um, it's kind of like what you were saying, where I don't think for every set of your workout you should be going in with the most like fuck shit playing in your ears, like slapping yourself, doing salts, because then you get to your PR, you go for your PR, it's no different, and you've kind of like desensitized to it. I mean, that's what
yeah,
class it. You should do like your working sets relatively. Obviously, you need like get excited for them. You should be like a little bit nervous and excited to do your set, but you don't treat it every set as a PR unless you're like a psychopath that just doesn't get tired like mentally.
I feel like looking at your Instagram, Tom, I feel like that's what a lot of people think you're like.
You just every set.
True.
I didn't even listen to music in the gym yesterday. Like I literally just had whatever the gym was playing.
Fair enough.
So
Yeah.
that's the way.
I, yeah,
I know, I've seen a few guys literally wear those like jackhammer headphones when they're training. It's pretty interesting.
Really?
You're dead silent, you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
that's
have, they
I
have
don't
to.
know what you're talking about.
But you don't, or you do.
No, I don't.
Like on construction sites when the
Yeah,
workers have the big headphones, so they don't.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh okay, I get it.
You can
Yeah,
hear.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
it's
Or
your own.
Um,
even during like weightlifting when it's like common practice in some weightlifting gyms to just be quiet, like
Yep.
when somebody lift. Or even like in the comps as well. Like everyone's like dead silent.
Do you watch those videos like
well,
With the what?
Chinese weightlifting holds? Do you watch
Yeah,
those? Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
they're all silent
It's crazy.
except for
that's how
you guys.
I was just gonna say that's how classic bodybuilders trained as well. All they
Yeah,
had is the clunking of the weights of the iron.
that's crazy.
So
It's all silent except for Sheezy Young screaming, which are.
it almost turns training into meditation at that
Yeah,
point
Kind of is
because
still.
it brings you because meditation is all about bringing you somewhat into the present moment, right?
Hmm.
So
Yep.
that's I guess what training does um as well. Training is somewhat um brings you that same sort of benefit as well. I've had a lot of people talk about that as well. It brings you into the present moment. That has the same sort of effect as well.
I
Right?
feel like,
yeah.
That's probably a big thing for you, Tom.
what?
That's probably a big thing for you, Tom, right?
Wait,
Do you
say,
feel
say,
like?
say that again. About what? Being present? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, or like training in general, just it being um uh like a meditative sort of experience for you.
Yeah, like I kind of, yeah, I just love training so much that I don't. I'd hate to have life without it, to be honest. I think I was just kind of branching into what I was going to say. Like anyone that doesn't train and listens to this podcast, I would definitely recommend it. Obviously, there's all the physical benefits, but the shit you learn from the gym and like the mentality that it can help you with, I don't think you can get that anywhere else.
Very
Yeah.
true, especially if you're training by yourself. You know, there's no one else. It's just you. I think that's the moments when I feel like I train the best. Like when there's no one around me, I'm just, in my own head, have my own thoughts, and there's no one to spot me if I fail the squat. There's no one to spot me if I fail the bench. Like I have no choice but to get it up, you know. Um, and
Mm,
But yeah,
mm.
that's a good place to end it.
That's what training at home's so good, having a home gym.
yeah,
I rate that. I rate that.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin, you want to hit us with the outro?
Oh, I'm the outro guy, am I?
Your outro guy.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. So if you guys are looking for training, hit us up on Instagram, send us a message. You can apply for our coaching in our bio there. But without further ado, we'll catch you guys in the next JumpX podcast. Peace
Peace.
out.
See
Yes,
ya.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.